cat. Hello everyone, welcome to another Fight of the Night review. This one is for the fight that took place last night, UFC 265, at the Toyota Center in Houston, Texas, United States, and it was the prelim main event, if you want to call it that, and I always do, between Bobby Green and Rafael Fiziev. So, got about 3 rounds of action to get through, and we're going to see where we wind up by the end of this. And my cat is here as well, so you have to watch this video by law. But look at him. You don't want to make him mad. So we go to round 1, and the fight begins as most fights do, standing up, very much a filling out process for the most part. Both guys are very much looking for their range. Rafael does find it early though, he does start landing some really good body kicks. Those become his bread and butter throughout most of this fight, but especially in round 1. He's landing some really good body kicks, he's landing some really good leg kicks. Bobby does eventually start countering them though. He starts moving his hips a bit more to avoid the body kicks, he starts blocking the kicks more as well. And he lands the first actual big shot of this round too, when he lands a hell of a left at some point. It does stun Rafael, but Rafael is able to recover quite nicely, and he's doing a lot of really good circling. His footwork is amazing in round 1, is Rafael's, and there's a good moment where he starts landing some really good like boxing combos that are busting Bobby up. Bobby's landing some really good counters as well. Rafael does come close to landing a vicious elbow, which sort of like clips Bobby but doesn't land fully. There's a really funny moment near the end of round 1 where Rafael is just sort of like chasing Bobby behind him, and then he goes for a handshake and Bobby reaches his hand too, but Rafael fakes it, which I thought was a bit cheeky. But round 1 full of back and forth action, however slightly in favour of Rafael for me. He did, it did look like he was clowning Bobby for a bit, and there was a lot of trash talk back and forth between the two in this fight, which did actually make it entertaining. Usually I'm not a big fan of that, but it did add a lot to it, and Rafael looked really good coming out of round 1, and Bobby did too. Like, he didn't look too bad going into round 2 either. But yeah, Rafael, body kicks were there for him, his strikes were there a lot more for him, although Bobby was getting some good counters as the round was closing out. Just a fun round and a really fun way to start what is a fun fight. We then get to round 2, and immediately the two start throwing some leather at each other. Like, this is a hell of an early exchange for them. It's only for a few seconds, but goddamn, no, they're serious going into round 2. And from then on, it does become a similar pace to round 1, with Rafael landing more leg kicks especially, and going for more strikes, but Bobby is landing some really good overhands, some really good counters. He's starting to rip to the body more as well, and as is Rafael. Like, Rafael is landing some really good shots to the body too, some really good straight. I'm especially impressed by the way that both of these guys are starting to mix it up as well. Like, Bobby's landing more around the body as well. Rafael is starting to focus less on the body and going more for the head, and he's landing quite well too. There is a moment where he does actually get a couple of stuns on Bobby, and Bobby manages to recover quite well. Like, he's eating a lot of these shots, and he's getting the body kick timing, like countering it really, really well. You know, he's getting the timing down for it, and he's landing some really good counters. He lands some really good 1-2s at points as well. He is starting to sort of get back at Fiziev, but Fiziev manages to stick to his really good footwork. He's using it a bit less in round 2, but he is still using it as well as he can, landing really good shots, and eventually, yeah, I think he sort of gets round 2 as well, does Fiziev. It is a very close round. It's a lot closer than round 1 was, and it is the point where it starts to feel more like a fight of the night, but it was really, really close for the most part, and Bobby was getting his own back, landing really good punches, really good boxing combos, walking through a lot of Rafael strikes, but Rafael bouncing around a lot, landing some really good body work, landing some really good head shots too. So yeah, round 2, very close. Still slightly in favour of Fiziev for me. And then we get to round 3, and at first it does not start well for Bobby. Rafael starts landing some really good shots on Bobby. He does rock him a little bit, but Bobby, so like, no, I'm good, and he just keeps walking through it. And this was a point where I actually said to myself, like, you might be looking badass walking through a lot of these shots, but you're still getting hit. But Bobby pretty much shut me up as soon as I said that by landing a really good shot on Rafael, actually stunning him. Like, yeah, round 3 is definitely where it starts to pick up the pace, as if it wasn't steadily building really well throughout the entire fight. So yeah, Bobby starts landing a lot more in round 3. Rafael is actually sort of struggling a little bit to keep up with him. He's still keeping up with him really well. He's throwing throwing fewer kicks to the body because he knows that Bobby is going to counter them, so he's trying to use his footwork a bit more, trying to use his hands going up top, and the two are actually, much like they were in round 2, they're trading some serious leather in round 3, and there's some really good like strikes between the two, really good exchanges. There is not a lot of clinch stuff. There's a fair bit of phone booth fighting between the two, though, and I almost said Lando Fanato now. Fiziev starts to get a bit of the better of it, but Bobby is landing a lot more. He's landing his counters. He's landing a lot more kicks too to set up some stuff up. He throws a really good body tape at some point. There's a stiff kick he lands in round 2, which I forgot about. I think it's a round 2, but it cracks. It absolutely cracks up the liver of Rafael. But that was in round 2. We're talking about round 3, which was, again, really fun and exciting. Nice back and forth striking between the two. Not a lot of wrestling. I don't think there was any takedowns attempted. There might have been a clinch. There was a couple of clinches in round 3, I think. Yeah, round 3 is easily the closest and easily the most entertaining of what was already an insane fight. And I give it slightly more in favour of Bobby. He was just walking away with it a bit more. He landed some really good strikes. He was countering a lot more. And he was starting to capitalise on Rafael being a bit more tired by this point. But we do reach the end of the fight. The, really 3 absolutely fun rounds of action. And Rafael gets the win by unanimous decision. Don't have any complaints with that call, although one judge did give him all 3 rounds. And I think, he pinched rounds 1 and 2, but round 3 was definitely swaying in favour more of Bobby. So, yeah, but as for the fight itself, though, as for my thoughts on it, absolutely seek this one out. I had a lot of fun with this, and these are 2 of the most underrated lightweights going, which is saying something in a division so filled with talent. It just proves that the lightweight division is the best. It will always be the best. So, absolutely fun fight between these 2. No complaints about the winner. No complaints about how the action was. It was really well paced. Really built up as it kept going. I think if it were a full 5-round fight, we would get an actual bloody fucking war in rounds 4 and 5. But it was a 3-round fight, and I'll take it as it is. I would like to see a rematch. I really want them to run it back. Very close despite being a unanimous decision and just a really good fight. But yeah, that'll really about do it for this video. I don't have a lot else to add to it. Just go find this fight. It was really good. Really entertaining back and forth between the 2. Complaints about anything really that happened. Could be a top 10 fight. Maybe. But that's for, that was then. As for the future, what's next for me? Well, I'm going to try and get the card set up for PBW versus AVW when that comes back. I've got a couple of days to do it. I should probably get to work on that. Next thing after that will probably be more music of the week. I don't know. And at some point eventually in the future, maybe next week, I might be able to get the A Day to Remember episode things of backtracking done. I'm hoping that is the case. My cat is here. You have to like this video now. So, yeah, that'll about do it. I've done what I need to do. As always, thank you for watching. You're awesome. Bye-bye.